All right. I've been up since like 5 a.m. Anyway, what I'm doing this morning is well, I went yesterday and bought cat food because the cats are low on food. So I'm taking care of that, as well as I also recently found out that the goats need their hooves trimmed, and I frankly didn't know. We've had these goats for 10 years. Well, not all of them. Only Cleopatra's the only one that left after 10 years. But and we almost lost her. We found her last night. She was missing for 24 hours. And she finally started working her way home and back home. She's blind. And the neighbors saw her. So we went and got her and basically helped her finish her trip home. And that was crazy. But she's a trooper. Just like Trig. Trig is her daughter. She was missing for 24 hours. She came back with a bum leg. And they gave her only like 50% chance of living, or maybe even less. And I don't know. I was like, she made it this far. I think we need to give her a chance. And yeah, she's doing really well. In fact, she just had a baby. So that's awesome. So there's a few things. So I went out to get hoof trimmers because David's never trimmed the hooves of the goats. And quite frankly, I never knew until recently. I started learning more because 2019, I ended up having to take over goat responsibilities because David pretty much let most of the herd die from worms. And then he blamed it on a neurological disorder or inbreeding, or that there wasn't enough nutrients on the land. I'm like, we only have like a dozen or so goats. I don't remember how much we had, like 14, 17, something like that. And he's like, we got 15 acres here. How can there not be enough nutrition on the land for a dozen or so goats? That doesn't make any sense. So I started doing my own research because I didn't know anything about goats, hardly at all. I pretty much left that up to David. That was his department. So 2019, I started learning. And I started taking over the goat responsibility. Found out it was worms. And prior to that, I had tried getting the purple stuff. I think it's called ivermectin. I'm not sure. No, that's something else. That's for horses. Cydectin, that's the one. Cydectin is for goats. And I tried getting him to give that to them, but he refused. He's like, we can't call ourselves organic if we're not being organic. If we give them this stuff, then we're not organic, and we can't call ourselves organic. So I eventually took the organic out of the name. It was called Off-Grid Organic Farm and Retreats because I was trying to do like a sustainable community. So I scratched the organic out of the name and just called it Off-Grid not sustainable, Off-Grid Farm and Retreat. DD&D, Off-Grid Farm and Retreat. And I was going to add in sustainable, but I just never did. And eventually I took the retreat out. I'm not doing the farm stay, work stay anymore because that was a bunch of crap. Nobody wants to work. I pretty much have to do all the work. So why have a sustainable community if the community doesn't want to work, right? So I got rid of that. And then I changed the farm name to just Off-Grid Farm and Organic Recycling, which is probably what I'll keep it as. And that's pretty much what we're going to do now. And goats. I'm not going to do all this other crap that I was talking about doing. I might do some of it. Depends on if I get some reliable help around here. But for the most part, I'm just doing goats now. So we had milk goats. We never milked them. I don't know why. I wasn't interested in milking them. David's always been talking about milking them, but he never milks them, right? So 10 years we've had milk goats, we never milked them. I think he's milked them twice, to be honest. So everybody always asks me, why do we have milk goats if we're not going to milk them? I'm like, I don't know. So I recently started exploring going in the meat goat direction and started, I got a goat trader and I started looking into that. So I got some Kikos and whatnot. But anyways, 2019, I started working on an herbal formula for the goats, natural dewormer. So I test them every 3 to 4 months. And I think you really only need to test them every 6 months, but I've been doing it every 3 to 4 months because we used to have a problem. But they've been parasite free for over a year now. I came up with my own herbal blend since David didn't want to help me with that. I figured it out myself. I came up with a blend and I've been giving that to them in their feed. This is their feed. And so I don't give them feed all day long. I just give them feed like in the evenings to bring them back home. And it's, to remind them where home is, because this is like candy to them, right? So anyways, so that's been working. But I've been giving it to all the animals, chickens, cats, whatever. The cats still have a little bit of a tapeworm issue. So I got to up there. I got to figure out what's good for tapeworms and maybe add that to the blend. But yesterday when I was out getting goat hoof trimmers, I also got some minerals because I've been watching YouTube and learning from other goat people that they need minerals. So I got this for the goats. But what I'm doing is, because most people just put it in like a bucket or like a tube and they let them lick it like a salt lick. And I don't have that set up yet, so I decided to just add it in with this. And so what this is my diatomaceous herbal blend. It's like their natural medicated powder, if you will. So I added the minerals to that. Like I said, it's diatomaceous earth, a whole bunch of different herbs, anti-parasite herbs. Then I just added in the minerals. And I'm also adding in this as a preventative. Now this treats, I think, like 16 goats. This whole bag. 12 goats. And of course that looks like a Kiko. So it's 12 large goats, maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't read the details because that's not how I plan on using it. What I plan on doing is adding it to their feed as a supplement, but I don't want to give it, the whole thing to them. So, so I'm basically adding it to this. And I'm also going to give some to the cats because they'll probably eat it, They're always trying to eat the goat food and the chicken food. So I assume they might eat it also, but I'm not going to give it to them straight. Like I said, I'm going to put it in. They got their own blend also, which is pretty much identical. So, and what I do is I take a 40-pound bag of diatomaceous earth and I take about a pound of each of the herbs. And so with this one, I basically just went, it's 6 pounds. But with this one, I went and got the best bang for my buck. So I'm just adding it to this as a supplement to kind of help them fight off the parasites. So between this, the minerals, and the herbs, they should be fine. And this will save me from having to, give them the the Cydectin. Now, Loverboy Jr. is trying to make babies. And, yeah, because that's kind of a pain. And this may or may not be natural, but probably more natural than the sidectin. So it's got a lot of nutrients in it. I think the active medical ingredient, I forgot where it was. I read it. Or maybe it was more visible on the other ingredient, but so they had another one. I thought about adding it too, but I was like, nah, I'll just do this one. Here we go. And to be honest, it's probably mostly just herbs that help kill parasites. I didn't see any pharmaceutical. Oh, here's the pharmaceutical. So it's Mortel tartrate. So that's the pharmaceutical. And then it's got a whole bunch of extra nutrients in it. So, and then I got the extra nutrients right here. And then I got the extra nutrients in the diatomaceous earth and the herbs. So, like I said, this is just a supplement that I'm adding to their feed. And usually, what I'll do is I'll take about this much, about a scoop, a pound, or two, a pound or two of this blend. I add to each 40-pound bag of feed. So usually, what I'll do is I'll pour a half a bag of feed in, then I'll take 16 ounces, put that in, then I'll put the other half in, take 16 ounces, put it in. It's like the cats, they're a little bit easier because it's just cat food, you know. So I'll buy one or two different types of cat food. With these bigger ones, I usually just do like, the 32 ounces. After, like, say, I'll pour 2 half bags in, and then I'll sprinkle the 32 ounces over the top, and then I'll pour the other 2 half bags in because these have got a wider base. These ones are more narrow, and these are the ones I was using for feed. These are 20 gallon, these are 30 gallon, or something like that. Maybe they're 15 and 30. It looks like 15 and 30, but I don't know. Anyways, I forgot. But I could have swore these were 20s and these are 30s. Maybe these are 35s. I can't remember. They're almost as big as a 55, but they're not quite a 55. So, anywho, so I'm doing this blend. Now, I got the chickens their own automatic deer feeder, a big one. So, basically, when I come home on the weekends, I refill theirs. The goats have a smaller one. Basically, I just have it go off a couple seconds a day to kind of hone them into, where home is. They forage for the most part. In the winter, I give them more feed. um, or if they're sick, like right now, they had pink eye, and it was really bad because I didn't catch it in time, and I was on the road, and David didn't really check on them while I was gone. So when I came home, I had a catastrophe. I had 4 sick goats and 3 dead goats. And I had to hurry up and go out and get medicine. I had to give them injections. It was horrible. It was a mess. So I'm also looking for a new business partner, somebody who's reliable, somebody who's attentive to the animals, somebody who gives a darn. But anyways, so this is what I do. This keeps me from having to medicate them as much. And now that I haven't had a problem, I'll probably start doing every 6 months for the testing. You know, but we'll see. Because I got Kikos now, and they're more parasite resistant. And I think the reason they're more parasite resistant, as well as the Spanish goats, is because of what they were foraging in the wild. Here on the farm, they may not have the things that they need naturally to forage to keep them parasite resistant. So that's where it's our responsibility to add those things into their feed like herbs and whatnot, like mallow, wormwood, things like that. Things that will help them be parasite resistant. If you don't have the proper nutrients to keep the parasites down, you're gonna have parasites. So, and then you got to rotate your goats, every 2 to 3 weeks. We only got 2 goat yards, but I'm hiring a guy to come in and do the rest of my goat yards since David won't do it. I don't know why, but I don't know. He's lazy. So I got a guy. He's gonna come out next weekend, do some measurements, and get started on my goat yards, so I can rotate them properly. That will help keep the parasites down. That will help keep them healthy. So on and so forth. So then I need to start building some more goat houses. And what I'm thinking about doing is getting like 3 horse trailers, at least 2, and then big ones, and then rotating those with the goat yards. So, like, for example, if I rotate them every 2 weeks, I'll need 3 horse trailers. And then basically, you know, I'll I'll make it to where um, I'll make it to where they're more wind resistant, or not wind resistant, but like in the winter, you need to block them off so that they don't get cold. So right now, what I have is I have like a little mobile trailer that I made for the pigs out of a little lawnmower trailer. We don't have the pigs anymore. But the pigs I couldn't trust to rotate between yards without wandering off. So um, I had made a trailer for them, like a mobile home, and the goats love it. So what I'm gonna do is get a bigger horse trailer. I got a small horse trailer for transport, but I'm gonna get a bigger one, and I'm gonna 3 big ones and rotate them from yard to yard, and then that way, I don't have to build um, goat houses in every single yard. So I can rotate the goat house, not with the goats, but ahead of the goats. And so, like, say, when they leave one yard, I'll take the horse trailer and take it to, 2 yards down where I plan on having them, next month. And that way, the parasites can die off, and then we can use the manure if we want to. If not, we'll just leave it there. It'll break down and basically become kind of like dirt and insulation. Throw some hay in there, and or straw, and it'll be ready for them the next month. So that's basically what I plan on doing. And I'm just gonna be doing goats. But like I said, if I get some reliable help around here and they want to do something else, oh, I got cats too. Candy. This is our queen. Our not queen. Our princess. Mimi's the queen. This is the princess. Anyways, I got chickens too. They're mostly to keep the bugs down, but I got one broody chicken, so I'm still trying to work with her to get her to hatch out some eggs. David doesn't mark the eggs, so I got to mark them when I come home. And so I mark them every weekend when I'm home. She's got a dozen or so eggs in there now, so I'm hoping she'll hatch them out. I'm gonna. There might be 2 broody hens, but I know I definitely got one. So we'll see. And I'm gonna hopefully maybe get this chicken coop finished this year too. This is like the 3rd year. It's taking forever. But anyhow, that's Mohawk. So yeah, this is my Dewormer Blend thingy that I've been working on. And like I said, it's mostly diatomaceous earth. I use that as the carrier. And I mix in all this other stuff as supplements. Yeah, 16 ounces. That's typically what I use. Another thing I got yesterday was this. And I kind of already knew that they needed, salt and minerals and stuff like that. But broke down yesterday and got a salt block. And I also saw this nifty thing. It's a little expensive, not too bad, $10. But it's got holes in the bottom. So you can set the salt block in there, and any moisture will drain off. So it won't retain any moisture, except maybe up here in this little pocket. But which I'm not sure why they have that, except for maybe it's a good handle for carrying. But so now they'll have a salt lick, and I'll move it from yard to yard. We're gonna move them over to this yard next week, so I just decided to go ahead and set it up here. Maybe I'll end up just getting another one next month and putting it in that yard. Now, I was talking about getting horse trailers, and what I might end up doing is setting that up in the horse trailers when I get them. And then that way, when I rotate the horse trailers, I'm rotating their salt blocks too. And I'll probably also set up that mineral thing that people do, that little tube thing. I'll probably set that up in there as well. Right now, they get minerals from these lick tubs. What I do is I get old lick tubs that people aren't using anymore. I try to get them for free, and a lot of times I can. Some people charge for them, so I'll pay up to $3 a lick tub. I try to get it for like $1 or free, but provided they don't have cracks. If they got cracks, I won't pay as much for them. Maybe 50 cents, but um, so like say the people that are charging $3, I'll tell them, I'll give you $1 maybe, for the cracked ones, because I really can't use the cracked ones except for maybe raised bed gardening. But the thing with it is eventually they're gonna crack. These ones won't crack as easily because they got the liquid cattle feed in them. I used to haul liquid cattle feed. So what I do is we do rainwater collection, and then in the winter I'll add liquid cattle feed to all the colored totes. So the red ones, the blue ones, the black ones, I'll add liquid cattle feed to the water, and that gives them a supplement through the winter. And then the white ones is just regular water. But even these blue and black ones, I put regular water in them because they're over here next to the cows, and I don't want the cows trying to push down my fence trying to get to the cattle feed. So I got the liquid cattle feed over there away from the cows. Callie smells the cat food. You can't get to it. Oh, yeah, you can. Here you go, Callie. Callie. I spilled some cat food in it earlier, and I didn't get it out. Here, Callie. Kitty, kitty, kitty. You smelled it a minute ago. Why aren't you eating it now? There you go. Smell it. She got it. So now I'm off to feed the cats. So I got this, like I said yesterday. They probably don't want the paper. Probably don't matter. Oh, it's plastic. Yeah, I don't want that back here. If it was paper, I wouldn't care because it's biodegradable. I kind of don't want the place to look trashy. But like I said, paper I usually don't worry too much about because it is biodegradable, so it'll break down. But I try to put all the stuff together, all the biodegradable stuff like these here pallets. I don't know why they just got left here, but um, anyways, I need to haul them off because they got nails in them, and I don't need to be driving back here getting nails in my tires. But next time I'm back here with the trailer, both my trucks are broke down. This one I shouldn't be driving it, but I don't really have a choice, so I use it kind of like a farm truck right now. We use pallets for different things. Like I built this goat house with pallets, and I'm working on building another one with pallets. And I built that mobile uh, home with pallets. So I can even do that with a bigger trailer and make them a bigger mobile home. But I think it'll be lighter if I actually buy a horse trailer, maybe even cheaper. I don't know, but and then I could do different things to insulate it for the winter. But this one here, she's pretty smart. She's gonna be my stubborn Kiko. So I recently got Kikos to breed with the Nigerians and also to produce meat goats. And I got a new project I'm doing, like I'm gonna call it Skygerian, and basically I'm gonna cross the Kikos with the Nigerians to see if I can make a hardy, parasite-resistant meat milk goat. Goat that's good for milk and meat. Because Kikos are good milk goats, but they only produce milk like 5-6 months out of the year. From what I understand, where Nigerians, you can milk them pretty much year round. So it's a little project I'm doing, but mostly I'm focusing on meat goats. And I'm going to sell off a lot of the Nigerians because David's only got 3 Nigerians left that he didn't kill or let die. Where I have more, but like I said, we never milk them. So I only got Nigerians because that's what David was doing, and he said they were inbred. So I got some other Nigerians to keep them from being inbred, and then I found out that wasn't the problem. But then all the bucks died, so I ended up getting 2 purebred bucks to breed with the Nigerians. And what I should have did is I should have held off, but I didn't know anything. So now that I got the Kikos, I'm just going to breed the Nigerian bucks with the Kikos and make what I call Skygerians. And they're actually not just Kikos, they're Spanish goat Kiko, they're Spanish Kiko cross goats. So when I get more yards, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Spanish goat male and a Boer goat male. And then I'm going to have a Nigerian male. And so basically what I'm going to do is cross the Kikos with the Spanish, which these are already Kiko Spanish cross. And then take the males and sell them for meat. Then I'm going to take the females and I'm going to put some of the females with the Boer to give them more bulk. And here's what I also might do. I might actually do it a little bit different. What I might do is breed the Kikos with the Boer to give them more bulk. Sell the males, then breed those females with the Spanish goat to bring them back down in size a little bit. and then um, sell those males, take the females, and then breed them with the Nigerians. They'll come back down a little bit in size, sell those males, and um, and then keep the females with the Nigerians, those females. But I don't know yet. I'm not fond of boars because they're not as parasite resistant. But again, back to what I was saying, if they got the proper nutrients, then that may not be a problem. So we'll see. But boar, my goat trader suggested I put boar in the mix because it'll give them more bulk. But that's only to take them to market. So maybe my market goats for meat, for selling meat, I'll breed those with the boars, and then all those babies will go to the market. And then my Spanish Kiko babies, females that I don't breed with the boar, I'll breed with the Nigerian to make Skygerians. And we'll see how that goes. But I've seen people milk Kikos. Spanish goats are more meat goats. Kikos were originally a feral goat, and they bred it with 3 milk goats to give it more bulk and to make it a meat goat. But it still has dairy potential. So that's why I'm going to try the Skygerian approach. Maybe it'll be a good meat milk goat. We'll see. Either way, it'll still make a decent meat goat. It just won't be as big as the others, but it'll be bigger than a Nigerian. So I don't want them too big where I can't handle them, though. I want it to be more like a medium farmstead type of a goat to where they're manageable. Some goats are too big, you can't manage them. Kikos don't seem to be too terribly big, but like these big cows, I don't want big cows. If I do cattle, I'm going to do Dexters. They're medium sized to smaller cows where you can help manage them a little bit better. So, but anyways, I got to also build a corral, a better corral that I can corral them in and do, medicating, hoof trimming, things like that. And I'm probably do that up front. I got a small yard that I'm working on up front, and that'll probably be the yard that I do that in because it's really too small to run goats in. So I'll probably have the front of the property as my sick yard where I can kind of keep an eye on them a little bit better. And and also, like my hospital, if you will. It'll be where I go in and treat them, do their maintenance, and whatnot. So all the sick goats and all the maintenance goats, I'll take them up there to maintenance them and stuff like that. And I'm only home on the weekends, so this is more or less my weekend project. But my mom will be here soon to kind of keep an eye on things while I'm gone. But that's basically what I need is somebody just to keep an eye on things while I'm gone, make sure they don't die on me. Because my friend obviously can't seem to handle that. That's too much work. um, so I'm just looking for his replacement at this time. But I'm just giving you an idea of what I'm doing for medication, parasites, herbs and stuff, and what I got going on here. So, yeah, if you're into goats and you're looking for a place, uh, holler at me because I'm looking for help. All right, bye.